Good afternoon to everyone, and today, I will introduce you to a great distribution called Debian. This is a Debian from the stable branch at number 7, 6 and 0, with a graphical CD shell. CD we have versions here. Since this is a stable branch, CD we have here is kind of not particularly fresh. Let's see. Version 484. It's quite normal. You can live. These are not those old sneakers 4 and 3 that slowed down hard, although someone there could live on 4 and 2, and on 4 and 3, and on 4 and 4, as some CD users say. I just need to have them ready. So, let's see what kind of software is included here. This is our image of life sitting. You can immediately install it. Well, Concuvera. This is our classic CNSNI file manager. When I was 3, he and he were both a file manager and a browser at the same time. Here, he will write, do we have him not connected to the network? Included. As you can see, the speed of the browser certainly leaves much to be desired, although it seems to be developing like ours, but not very much. It can be used as an alternative file manager. For these tasks, as it were, it is very good, and it is not very fast machines. Much faster than Dolphin, as the main file manager. But as a browser, of course, it's well the same as putting, for example, Internet Explorer 6 under Vine. And using this whole thing, although all of us have gone through it. My first operating system I used was Windows 98. Well, I'm talking about DOS. I will not count DOS. I only heard about Linux then somewhere somehow. And I had Internet Explorer version 5 and 5. It seemed to me then that this was the most ideal browser. Of course, after I installed Firefox 2, then it was the second version, well, or even 1 and 3, or there was some version. Of course, I was shocked that something could actually work fast here. So as a browser, this is not very instrumental, but as a file manager, it's even very nothing. So, as a file manager, I have already shown you, we have Dolphin installed here. Here, Dolphin in terms of functionality is probably no worse than Finder. It basically mows down for it. Here, this is our clone Finder. Yes, like most file managers, probably. So, we have a hard drive. We have an empty one. What an army. Nothing right. Pretty. There is also a flof carpet of some kind to put, although even here I think such a thing can be done without any problems. Well, for those who really work on this, they don't really need all these alterations, because most people they just turn off the whole thing. Okay, I'm coming in now. I remember for a long time just using Unity. You can put the interface, for example like this, like a regular 8-ket. Okay, let's leave it as it is. There, here, you can change the icons. I don't think there will be anything special here. Namovsky, we put these relatives here. I stood up. Somewhere here, you can change the topics, and here I climbed. So, this is us disabling the effect. We don't need them. They were shutting down. So, it was we who accidentally moved to another window, that is, to another room, so-called. So okay, let's not climb around these rooms here. We switched to the one that was enough. So, then we look at the programs. This is understandable. A standard file manager, aka a manager, aka a browser, system setup, a file manager. We look at the software. So, what are you providing us with Debi's menu? Something incomprehensible. And why is it here? I'm sorry, I still don't understand. So, all this can be removed too much through the menu. What kind of tilish? That is, you can configure and remove it all in the menu. Look at the chart menu. Just a second. That's the shit we can cut out. Don't really. Close, save. The eyepiece is not needed. So you see, we don't have that right now. So by the way, for fans of the normal classic menu, as in PED3, the main thing is to include a simple menu. So we look at what we have in the schedule. So, GIMP, we have a complete KID package. We admit GIMP. Let's look at the Jim Kaz's version. 2 and 8 or 4 it seems, if I'm not mistaken. So, then view the images. Magic, not shot, is a very cool thing for taking photos, much better than what is used in GNOME Unity. So here is a part of the LibreOffice multimedia module, Dragon Player and Volley, the most important thing that they stuffed. Well done. So Dragon Player is with us. I don't know how in this version. In previous versions it was a hell of a Satamas. So, the one-horse mode was turned on. 2 and 8 and 2. The version is not very fresh. I think with the repository, the whole thing can be pumped up and installed. So, Dragon Player. We missed her internet after the graphics, right? The Regator, and then, the standard Debian fork of Firefox, sat down, that is, it is the default browser used everywhere. Such a Firefox is not updated very often. Here we will probably have either the 17 or 24th version, but the 4th and camp version. Here's another nuisance. The dadkick theme is displayed incorrectly, so you will need to download some utility to expose the dadkick theme. 8ket 3, configure it so that it is somehow displayed, because all the applications that we have on dadkick, let's say we launch GLC, we will have the same trouble, we will have such a law interface. She's fine, which is normal here. Now let's look at the rest of the applications and everything is displayed normally. Let's watch something. Everything that is on the QQt, that is on the standard C debug, the programming language in which it is written, everything will be displayed normally. Everything on dadkick, that is, GNOME 2, GNOME 3, Unity there, all sorts of synonyms, and the like, will be displayed just terribly. So, you have to. Because we don't have anything like that here, basically everything is like this. Okay, let's launch LibreOffice. Whether we have it configured normally, for the PSE interface. Please note, that with 800 megabytes in the VirtualBox, the 400 does not slow down here, unlike OpenC. I am not an opponent of OpenSUS. I remember sitting on previous versions, I really liked the PNUs 10, I really liked even the 12th PNUs. What have they done there in the 13th, that he doesn't even want to start? And people write to me, that you are a pervert, although you need more gigabytes. Why is Debian running on 800 RAM, and he barely started at a gigabyte, loaded for 15 minutes, and couldn't even open the Dolphin? What's the point of it? What's his point in it? I don't understand. And what is the crookedness of my hands? Yes. Look, here, the pre-revolutionary version of KED is relatively, yes, I don't know anymore, there are probably 4 or 12 out there, which is 1,000 times faster there. Sneakers have actually become very fast now. There are 4 and 8 here. Antediluvian sneakers and they work. They really work fine. 4, 8 and 4. They don't slow down even in the emulator, that is, here you can actually run something, print something and do something. So what do we have with LibreMorse, that he didn't load up to the end? Then I'm going to intercept Debian now. But in fact, Debi is a variant called BlindMe. That's fine, we have a Karenni interface displayed for this. In principle, for this period, you cannot put the dadkick program, it is enough to pit. If your GIMP is a little crooked there, it's okay. Moreover, with the word crooked, I kind of mean such an old interface Salom Windows SP98, you know, Pawglow it. I'll run it again, and show you what I mean. Just a second. Moreover, all this is solved in theory. There are programs that, as it were, expose a single interface. That's what I meant. Such a law classic. Well, you understand. So what's next for us? We have a mail on the internet. I showed you all the solos, you saw the competition. We have such a law adium, and Massique stuff like that. Well, I would recommend to put on the Qt. Let's say to put Psi on the Qt. Great, the program will probably work better. So, we have a multimedia Dragon player. Juke is about a simple audio player for those who do not want to overload themselves with unnecessary functionality there. Because there is also a Lobster, such Ayla 8 tons also offers to add a folder, but we don't have music here. So, we don't have a Brandon 3B, a program for burning a disk, but I would probably download Nero 4 with a crack, or put a Brazer. I like something a lot nicer. In terms of that, it's not that it's prettier, it's kind of overloaded, and sometimes it's godlike, sometimes it works fine. I remember in the third sneakers, they generally worked perfectly for the tribe. Here, of course, he scares me a little. This program, of course, is very functional. Well, sometimes it really scares me. Then he writes, then he doesn't write, then something else. Then she lacks some rights. Of course, you can do all this. Open a failure, climb into the terminal there, poke around. I apologize for the expression. Fuck with the system, but I do not know why this does not have to be done from the Brazer. I have no idea. The plasma has not dropped once. You see, everything works fine under the emulator. So, Mix is our kind of regulator. We have a microphone, everything is set up. So, well, here we have the settings. Immediately Java is the 6th, the application installer. Such a simple, a law Linux minus, by the way, somehow reminded me of such a stripped-down one very much. So, by the way, there is a rebellious one. It used to be in the 6th version. It was even in the repository. So, we have rebellious fonts here. So, let's see if there is such a simple program for Debi here. A simple installer without hemorrhoids. Yes, we have a Debi CD here. Here goes the installation. And now we will install some, that is, he is still thinking there, the installation has gone. In the meantime, we'll see what else we have here. So, we have an office, or an office. In addition, you can download a CD office. Someone likes it more office, someone likes it less. System settings, screen server, dadkick. We have a system, many programs are duplicated. We have a print setup. You can send an error to the Gleben server. The system monitor. Look at how much this whole thing eats up resources. The package is currently being installed. It loads the processor a little. Memory is 300 megabytes. So, utilities calculator, archiver, file manager, court. Such ALA competitor credit, ARC file manager. Pretty simple. I recommend installing a PIAZUP for fans of more functions. A calculator, of course. In principle, the system has everything you need to eat. You can watch videos, and you can listen to music. You can go online. You can watch documents, watch PDFs, basically everything you need. You can immediately start playing Minecraft, because we have Java here. Burn disks. Well, that's all it takes. The system is not bad. Let's see what the installer is here. Here is a standard Debian installer. For example, I choose the language here is Russian with us. In principle, the standard installer. I think we can end here.